Good evening. Hope all of you are able to see my screen and hope all of you can hear me. Can I have a quick confirmation? Right. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. All right. Now today we are going to talk about the next special purpose domain, which is nothing but comments. So comments is the domain that we are going to talk about. So just give me a second. Let me close all of them and open comments domain. All right. So what we are going to discuss here. So in the comments domain, we need to ensure few things. Those are number one, comments are nothing but these are the ones that captured at three different places. Number one, the comments may come from how exactly I can explain this. Just a second. I try to get a related data and I can explain this. Just allow me a moment. Guys, and one more thing, if any of you haven't received anything, please remind me. I have a habit of forgetting the things, right? So I missed to share your details, that is SDTM related details, almost like from past 2 weeks, correct sir? From past 1 week. So whenever you need anything, if I say that I'll share these details, but if I haven't shared it, kindly requesting all of you to please remind me once, right? I have this very bad habit of forgetting the things. Okay. Now, so here the comments primarily comes from three different places. Or I can say the source for comments is, if someone asks you from where we are going to get this particular one, means I can say that there are three different sources. Number one, we can get those comments from okay, let's consider this. There are going to be the comments from the domains. We are going to get the comments from parent records, that is nothing but main records, or we are also going to get the comments from your CRF, case report form, right? All these three possibilities are there. Now, first thing is going to be, we are going to capture the comments which are not related to any domain and not related to any of the parent records. What do you mean by that? These are not related to any domain. Let's say that in demographic domain or in lab domain or in your medical history, these are not related to any of this, right? But still we are going to capture those particular one, right? And we need to ensure that for such records, the date need to be mandatorily captured. That is, the date need to be mandatorily captured. We capture date as a mandatory field. Number two, I may get the comments from, if this is not the case, I may get the comments from any one of the domain related to any of the domain, but not specific to any parent record. I'll explain this, don't worry. Maybe we can understand this in a while. Not specific to any parent record. Right, in the domain, for every domain, we are going to have something called comment space. What is that? We are going to have something called comment space. In the comment space, we are going to have all the details. That is, the person who is capturing these details, though in that particular case, they are going to capture these details. In this particular case, we may or may not capture the date. Not mandatory. If the date is there, we can populate that. If date is not there in the parent domain, we don't capture that particular one. Okay. Third case, it is related to specific domain. What is that? It is related to specific domain. And in that domain and related to parent records. In this, we are going to give all the details, but here date is not mandatory. That is collection, that is when you are going to write that particular date, that particular date is not mandatory. So three things we are going to discuss here. So the comments is all about, we are going to accommodate mainly two types of comments. One, those collected alongside with your data, regular data, whatever the data that you are collecting, along with that particular data, you are going to collect your records, right? Which is nothing but typically on a case report form. In case report form, your investigator is going to write some comments. Those comments you are going to capture. Number two, we are also going to capture the details which are specific to a page. That is nothing but there is a, in each domain there is going to be a page dedicatedly available only for the comments, investigator comments. Those also we are going to capture it. So primarily two types of things we are going to capture here. That is the first thing we all need to remember. Is that okay, guys? What is the first thing that we would like to understand here? We need to understand from where we are capturing this particular comments. So there are three sources. One is case report form straight away. One is going to be case report form. So whatever you are going to have it in the case report form, we are going to capture that. Number two, anything related to a specific domain but not related to the parent record, still we capture it. Number three, everything related to the domain and also related to your parent record, that also we are going to capture. Totally there are three different sources available here, and all three different sources information without fail we are going to capture. That is the first thing you need to remember. That is nothing but what kind of data we are going to store here. Number two, what is the nature of this particular domain? In a simple way, this domain captures comments. That can be anything, any any comments either from investigator or from CRF page. In a simple way, if someone asks you, hey, what is this comments domain is going to capture about? It's simply going to capture comment either from the investigator or from your CRF page or from both. Simply it is going to capture all the details. Okay, what exactly the comment is all about? Comment is not an answer or for any question that is asked by someone. It is not an answer. Comment can be considered as, it can be a note, it is also can be called it as a remark, it is also can be called it as a feedback. Investigator can do any of this. Let's say he have given certain drug and how the patient is getting reacted to that particular drug. He can capture those details also. Okay, so if I look at the source of this particular comments, the source can be three, as I mentioned here. It can be getting from your domains, or it can be get from the parent records, or you can also get from the your parent record, that is your parent records or CRF. Three things. Number three, what is the nature? What is the nature of this particular database? That is this particular domain. So if you go to the demographic, one subject per record. If you go for the subject visit, one record per subject per visit. If you go to the subject elements, one record per subject per event. Correct? Now here it is going to be one subject per record. Okay. Maybe I can say one record per subject per comment. A subject can have any number of comments, correct? So my subject ID will be repeated for multiple records also. It is absolutely possible. Then the next thing, we also need to understand about what is going to be my topic variable. Can someone tell me what is the topic variable for this particular one, which will completely focus on this particular one? A topic variable is nothing but which will focus on what is this domain is all about. What domain we are talking about? Comment. So definitely the topic variable is going to be comment. The comment can be represented as coval. So coval is going to be my topic variable, which is nothing but a comment. Simply comment. Then what are going to be the identifier variables? So we know what are the common identifier variables are there. All these days we are talking about that. One is definitely study identifier, SUDID. What is the next one? You can also go ahead with the domain. Then unique subject identifier. These are going to be common. There is no change in that. Correct? Almost for every domain that we have seen so far, these are repetitive. In addition to that, you're also going to get one more. If you see subject elements, you got SEQ, sequence number. Here also you have a sequence number, which is nothing but COSEQ. If it is a subject elements, it is going to be SEQ. If it is going to be comment section, it is going to be COSEQ. Now, let's discuss about each of these particular variables one by one. So for this, I'm just going with the domain. So here is what your standard implementation guide. You can see that the first one is going to be study ID. Let me talk about all this one by one. Variables details. So the first one is going to be, as we all know, study ID. So I don't need to explain anything. You all know already, which is nothing but subject identifier. Right. The second one is going to be domain. So it is nothing but domain abbreviation. There is a question, just a second. Comments are written by our own as a SAS programmer. Raja, I didn't understand your thing. Comments are written by our own as a SAS programmer. No. Those are not the comments. No. See, what you are saying is, let's say this is going to be my SAS program. This is going to be my SAS, right? Let's say for an example, here I'm writing something. So I'm just going with some comments. Let's say created by my name, modified by, right? This is nothing but your comment section, right? What is this program name of this particular program? When this is created on. These are nothing but your comments specific to, these are the comments specific to your program. This is nothing but your program header. Later on, let's say that I want to write one comment like this. Extract all demographics data from DM table. If I write this particular comments, these comments are very specific to my SAS program. These are not part of your SDTM. These are not part of your CDISC. I may write a comment, someone may not write the comments. These are comments related to the program. But the comments that I'm talking here is not related to the SAS program. These are actually related to your domains, or these are the comments related to the parent records, or these are the comments which are written by your investigator in the CRF form. Am I clear? Did you get the difference? Domain abbreviation. For this particular one, it is going to be CO. All right. Oh, study identifier. Sorry. Thank you, Mohanty. Study identifier. Then I'm going to have something called U subject ID. What exactly here we have? Let's go this. So study ID is over, domain is going to be over. Then we'll go with the U subject ID, USUBJ ID. So what is USUBJ ID? It is unique subject identifier. So how I'm going to calculate this one? It is a derived variable. Again and again I'm talking about this. It is a derived variable. So how I'm going to derive this particular one? What is the combination? Wonderful. So it is going to be a concatenation of, study identifier, site ID, and subject identifier. Correct? So this is a derived variable. Next. So from here onwards, all the variables are related to this particular domain. So far, whatever we have entered are going to be the common variables that we have already discussed in the previous domains also. Since I got this particular scope sequence, that is nothing but the sequence number, I'm calling this as a sequence number. So just like your element in the subject element sequential number, it is also will be, just make sure it is going to be in a chronological order, right? Just make sure based on your chronological order. So I'll see, I'll check that, I'll show this particular one with the example. Next, I'm going to have my next thing. So after your co-sequence, that is your co-SEQ, which is nothing but a sequential number, the next thing is going to be R domain. The name itself is telling you it is nothing but a related domain. So now you can see this particular one. So here we said that it can be related to any of the domain. That is, the domain can be, I'm getting this particular information from medical history domain, or I can get this particular information from adverse events domain, or I can get this information from lab domain, or it can get this information from CM domain, and so on. I can get this particular information from any of the domains, not specific to anything. So from which domain I'm getting this particular information, that is comment, that domain name we are going to mention there, directly the domain name. Then ID variable. What is that? ID variable. So the ID VAR is nothing but identifier variables. Identifying variables. Meaning, suppose I am getting this information from a adverse events table. In the adverse event table, to which record it is actually pointing to, right? What is the variable information in that particular domain? That is, if you look into this carefully, if it is not related to any domain or not related to any of the parent records, then my R domain is going to be blank for it, because it is not related to any domain. So R domain value will be populated as a missing value. Now go up again. It is specific to particular domain, but not specific to the parent record. Again, if you come back, it is having the domain name. Let's say it is coming from the AU domain, but my ID variable value will be no. I don't have any ID variable value because it is not related to any of the record. Now, it is related to a specific record. At the same time, it is specific to this particular domain. Then I'm going to capture the details of which domain it actually belongs to. At the same time, I'm also going to capture about in that particular domain, which variable is representing that particular one. Am I clear? Right? Now, then I'm going to have something called ID VAR VAL, meaning ID variable value, meaning identifying variable values. So we have identified which domain it is, which record it is, correct? But what exactly the value of that? Meaning, maybe I can show you one example here. See this. Look at this particular one. This one. So there is a subject ID. This is subject ID. So you can also call it a study identifier, no problem. Study ID. So, oh no, this is per subject, right? I'm sorry, guys. Now you can see there is a subject called 1234. My current domain is going to be comments domain, but the related domains is adverse events. In the adverse events, the comment is actually coming from, the value is actually coming from AESEQ, that is sequential number. Here I'm actually capturing the sequential number, right? The comment actually coming from the sequential number. The sequential number value is equal to 7. Then there is something called, here you can see the VS domain, right? Or you can go with the subject visits domain, as day before yesterday we discussed. I'm actually capturing the visit number. In the 4th visit, what happened, that related comment I can have here, right? In the 4th adverse event, what happened, that value I can have. That by that time, whatever the comment is there, that comment I'm capturing here. When it comes to the EX domain, I'm actually capturing EX group ID. That particular group ID value is combo 1. What is the combo 1 means? You can refer your CRF page. In the CRF, you can refer page number 320 to 355. Are you able to identify now? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? Identifying variable is nothing but in that particular domain, what variable you are talking about. If so, what is the variable value that is captured here? If I'm talking about subject visits domain, in the subject visit domain, during the 4th visit, how I am calculating the 4th visit? I can see that my visit number value is 4. During the 4th visit, the investigator has given, the person has given you the comment. That comment I'm capturing here. Is that making sense, everyone? What is called your identifying variable and identifying variable values? Can I have a quick confirmation from everyone? Is this understandable? Yes or no, guys? Team? Wonderful. Then COVAL. Maybe I'm not the co. Okay, maybe I can go with core reference, because I can see I just have show you the COREF here, right? You can see COREF. The COREF is going to tell you the comment reference. It is a comment reference. For an example, you can see the comment reference here is, it is related to a particular domain, but it is not related to any of the parent record. So during the visit 7, what is that? During the visit 7, there is a comment passed. The comments has been documented during the visit 7. So the reference for this particular comment is going to be, this is related to your domain, but not related to any of your parent records. Can I say this is nothing but your case number 2 here? Related to your domain, but not specific to any of the parent record. But there is something called co-references available. That is nothing but your comment reference is visits number 7. But here you can see these 2 cases, it is going to be page number 650, page number 322, 355. These are nothing but your CRF page numbers. Examples can be visit numbers like week 1, week 5, week 7, or anything. It can be of CRF page numbers, meaning you can also capture them like this. Page number 450, page number 205 to 217, like this. Make sense? All of you are able to follow this? The comment reference is all talking about how this particular comment has been, when this particular comment has been mentioned. Okay, then COVAL. The COVAL itself is nothing but a comment. Generally, in general, the length is 200. length is 200 characters. But there is no, but sometimes you can also have your comments which are going more than 200 characters also. Correct? It is also my topic variable. Right? Anyways, I have mentioned that at the top. If length is going beyond 200 characters, the length is going beyond 200 characters. In that case, the value will be spread across coval 1 and coval 2. Meaning, in addition to this particular coval, I am also going to have two more variables, ideally speaking, three more variables. Speaking covalent, there is no restriction. You can have co-value 1, co-value 2, co-value 3 and keeps going on until coval n. So for an example, so coval 1, it is also a comment. It is also a comment, but next 200 characters from, it is going to be next 200 characters from your coval. All right. Then what is coval 2? Coval 2 also is going to be a comment only. Coval 2 is also going to be a comment only. This is next 200 characters from coval 1, and it keeps going on. And it keeps going on. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, is that understandable? Right? So let me check what and all we have captured so far. Study ID, domain, R domain, use subject ID, sequence number, identifying variable, its value, co-reference, coval, co-evaluator. This is nothing but evaluator. Who is going to evaluate? So the next thing is going to be co-eval, which is nothing but who is going to be the evaluator. Most of the times it is principal investigator. Either you can call it as investigator or principal investigator. Correct? And then we also have something called CODTC, which is nothing but when you capture this comments, date and time in character format. All right. So this particular one, again, remember I have given these details at the top. It need to be captured as a mandatory value if it is not related to any domain or not related to any parent record. You may or may not populate this particular value if it is going to be a domain but parent record is missing. It is not mandatory at all if you are going ahead with the, if it is not mandatory at all if you are going ahead with the last one, which is nothing but it is specific to a domain, it is also specific to the record. All right, can I say these are going to be the total variables and the values which are related to your comments domain, a small domain only. Okay, but what is most important here, so before we go with some of the other details, I would like to talk about few extensions here or few things here, and those are nothing but from your standard implementation guide. From your standard implementation guide, I would like to take one example and I'm going to explain this particular one. Right? So let's take this particular one. Just give me a moment, guys. All right, everyone. So let's say that this is going to be my data. So there is going to be a subject called 1234. My domain is going to be CO domain, right? And now let's start with one after the other. So check the first one. What case it is from our notes? Can someone please explain? Which one it belongs to? We have three cases, right? You can see our domain is missing. You can see our domain is missing, correct? Since our domain is missing, it is not related to any of the domain. These two also, correct? There is no related domain, meaning when there is no related domain, these are not belongs to any of the domain. First thing, see this. The ID variable, that is identifying variable and also identifying variable values also, Mohanty, you are right. These are not also available, meaning whatever the comment we got here, the comment is not belong to the parent record and it is not belong to any of the domain. It is going to be the generic comment which got recorded during the data collection, meaning it may come from the CRF or it may come directly from the person, either the clinician, or it can be coming from the investigator directly. For these domains, we need to capture this particular one because it is mandatory, correct? So we need to capture the date for this particular one. Since it is mandatory, I'm creating it as just a second. Oops. So this value is going to be 2022-04, let's say 15. That is 15th of this particular month. This comment is got created or it got captured. Is that clear? Can I say this is going to be the case one? Why I'm calling it as a case one? Because for this particular one, there is no domain related stuff. At the same time, there is no identifying variable and its value as well. That is the reason you can say that it is purely coming from the investigator or coming from the CRF. Yes or no? Is that understandable? First one. Can I go with the next thing now? Right. So go to the second record. The second record is belongs to a specific domain. From here to here, all these are belongs to a specific domain. Either it can be PE or it can be AE or something. Those are related to the domain, correct? But the most important thing that we need to understand here is the second variable. It belongs to the domain, but it is not belongs to the any of the parent record, right? This got captured as part of your visit number 7. Something happened in the visit number 7. As part of the visit number 7, it got captured, right? Means in the visit number 7, this particular one got captured. Okay. Now, this will be call it here also. You can see that if you have date, you can capture it. When you don't have date, you don't need to capture it. But let's say that here the date is available. I'm just making sure that it is going to be 2022-04-16. Is that clear? What I'm trying to say here, all I'm saying here is going to be, it is a generic one, but related to the domain. The domain name is going to be PE domain. During the PE domain, it got captured. Is that clear, guys? Can I have a quick confirmation from everyone? Can I go with the next one? Yes or no? Wonderful. All right. Let me check the next one. You can see this particular one, this one. For all these, these are belongs to the domain. These are belongs to the domain, and also, okay, there is a comment. Just give me a second. By using co-reference, we are getting ID var and ID variable value. Not exactly. Let's say if you see co-reference here for the record number 2, this one, the one that I have highlighted now, you have co-reference, that is comment reference is there, right? But this happened in the visit number 7, correct? But there is no record which visit it is. Is it a trial visit or it is going to be a your subject visit? We don't have the domain name properly, right? So they simply mention only the visit 7. I have a comment reference, but based on the comment reference here, I cannot get the details of your ID var and ID variable value. No, we cannot do that, Santosh. Even you can see here. Here the code reference is your CR of page number, right? Your CR of page number. From the CR of page number, you are getting this particular details. Suppose in your ACRF, in your annotated CRF form, in the page number 650, if you have the details about, you're only going to have the details about what is going to be the domain and what is going to be the variable name. AE and AS you can get there because you have the annotated boxes there, but you don't get what is going to be the sequential number, correct? Are you getting my point? In the ACRF, you can get the page number 650. Let's say the page number 650 is belongs to your AE domain. At that particular page, you have in one box you have AE, in another box you have AE SEQ. That is nothing but what is going to be my variable and what is going to be my variable value. Domain and variable value I can get there, but I don't get the value of this particular variable. This value of the identifier variable will be only coming from that particular domain table. Am I correct? Am I misleading you? Anyone? Can I get a quick confirmation, guys? Right. See, if it is available, we use that particular one. Mean to say, they also captured this comment reference. If they capture it, you can just have a look at it. If they don't capture it also, it doesn't have any impact. That is what I'm trying to say. As long as it is available, you can use it. When it is not available, let it have a missing value, right? Because why I'm saying it doesn't have much impact means you can, if they give your annotated CRF, you can know what is going to be the domain and variable name, but still I cannot get my variable value, correct? So it can be useful just to know from where we are capturing this particular comments. When did we capture this particular comment? Only then you can get it. Other than that, other information, mean to say what is the value and all, we won't get it. Santosh, still if you have a question, let me know. I will unmute you. You can ask me. Cool. Now go to the third one. It actually captured in the adverse events domain. The variable value is going to be adverse event sequential number. The sequence number value is going to be 7. Okay, now they also mentioned that this value is actually coming, this value is actually, the reference is your CRF form. In the CRF reference, you have this particular value. But you can see that my comment is having more than 200 characters. So it got distributed in the Coval, Coval 1 and Coval 2. The same is going to be the case for the next one. You can see that for all these, I haven't captured any of my comments, date and time in character format. I haven't mentioned any of this. Correct? I haven't mentioned anything. Then you can see here for the last two again. These two are not specific to the domain, but you can see this is specific to some parent variable, which is nothing but visit 4. We are not sure from where this particular visit 4 has come, but still, we just have the details. We captured that here, right? All you need to understand is from which domain it is coming. If it is coming from the related domain, is it also related to any parent record? If yes, what are those values? Finally, what is going to be the comment? If the comment is less than 200 characters, well and good. If the comment is coming more than 200 characters, split into any number of variables. Last but not the least, make sure your CODTC will be captured if it is not belongs to the domain and it is not belongs to the record. Then your sequential number, you are going to create it in chronological order. Simply in the chronological order, you are going to create this particular one. Clear, everyone? Any questions here? One second, guys. One second. This one, oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. When it is not belongs to any domain, if it is not belongs to any domain, how come it belongs to a record? It is not possible, right? Ideal case. This must be blank. This must be blank, because when it is not belongs to the domain, it cannot belongs to any of the record also. It can be considered as your reference. All right. Yeah, that's the only change. It can be considered as your reference. All right. Now again, you need to see these two are not belongs to anything. For these two, we must capture the dates. That's it. Right. So this is going to be your all the subject details. I just create this as your example. This is also part of your standard implementation guide. There also you can check this. Okay, but I'm just keeping this here also for your understanding. All right. So Santosh, let me check you. I could see there is a comment from you. Let me see that. Just let me keep it properly and come to you. This is related domain. All right. This is unique subject identifier. All right. Sequence number is good. This is going to be ID variable. And then for the second one, we don't have an ID variable at all. This is going to be a co-reference. Just a second. There is no, that is directly this. This is going to be ID variable, no, co-reference. Visit 7. This is sequential value, page number 650. Visit number 4. This is going to be a co-reference. This is going to be a co-val. When it comes to this is going to be my comment. Already it comes as a comment. This is also a comment. This is also a comment. And this one, yeah. All right. Co-val 1. The co-val 1 will come only for this. Santosh, I'm coming to that. Just give me a second. Sorry, just give me a second. I'll come to you and I'll answer that. Give me 2 minutes. Because if I don't organize this properly, when I send it to you, it will get messed up. So that's the reason I'm just taking this care. So here it is going to be co-evaluator is going to be this is actually co-val 2. Then yeah, I can just push this to this one. Here is what your co-evaluator, that is nothing but your evaluator ideal case. Here also it is school, right? And right, this one. And then we are going to have something called visit number. Just only for one I have put the visit number. Then it is going to be your comments, date and time in character. So this is your example data. Wonderful. Now let me come back to your question. So what is the question here? Okay, if more data, if you have 500 votes, coval 1 equal to 200, coval 2 equal to 200, what about the remaining votes? So coval we create manually or it is going to be auto create. So we don't know word or how to calculate it. Wonderful question. Right. So let me reiterate the question first. The question is going to be, it is not about the word Santosh first of all, it is about the total length. It is about the total length. So the question from Santosh is, how do I create how many number of covals? Let's say, is it going to be 1 or is it going to be 2, or how do I decide that? On what basis I'm going to decide that? Is it manual or how do I create this particular one? Right? That's the question. See, for that there is a simple calculation. First, during your domain creation itself, during your domain creation itself, either you can automate this particular process by writing a macro, or if you want to do this manually, what you need to do is, means through the programming, but manually if you want to do it, what you need to do is calculate the length of coval, that is comment. If it is less than 200, if it is less than 200 or less than or equal to 200, I don't need to worry about anything. Simply I can insert my data, that is my coval is equal to coval itself. No need to do anything, right? I can leave it as it is. Just I can remove the leading or trailing spaces. I can remove it. I can just leave it. Suppose if the length of this particular one of your coval is greater than or equal, is greater than 200, then what you need to do? Then I need to use your substring function. So how to use the substring function? Then coval1 is equal to substring of, just remove your leading and trailing spaces. So or you can leave like this, substring of coval comma 1 comma 200. Correct? But again you need to check, is it more than 200 and less than 400 also? So if it is greater than, if the length is greater than 200 and length of your coval is less than or equal to 400, then I will do this. Again, I'll repeat the same for the next element. That is, if the length of coval is greater than 400, just give me a second. The shift insert. Just a second. If it is greater than 400 and length of this particular coval is less than or equal to 600, then my coval 2 is equal to, this value will go from 200 comma 201 comma 400. Am I correct? Oh, here also it is the same, guys. Sorry, I did a mistake. This one is going to be ER. If it is less than or equal to 200, I can use this. If it is 200 to 400, this is the case. If it is 400 to 600, this is the case. Right? And it keeps going on. Manually, if you want to do it, you can do like this. Or if you want to automate it, you can write a macro and you can use that particular macro at any point of time you want. Is this clear? Can I have a quick confirmation? Santosh, did you get my answer? All right. So let's have a simple exercises on this. So macro is better. No worries. That is going to be a task now. That is going to be a task now. I'm going to give you one simple macro now. All right. So all I need is I'm going to give you two details, or I'm going to send you two tasks. I need every one of you to complete the task by tomorrow. Simple tasks only I'm going to give, not a difficult task. One is going to be, I'm going to give you the subject IDs. I'm requesting all of you to create the sequence numbers for it. That is one. Number two, I'm going to give you the details about subject as well as four comments I'm going to give you. If the comment is more than 400 or more than 200, I request you to create coval 1, coval 2, coval 3. So these two information I'll send it in a while along with your DM domain. So can I say that this will complete your, maybe I can see, let's say Jamboards, Clinical Trial Protocol, SDTM introduction. Just want to see have we completed all the special purpose domains or not. Yeah. So under the special purpose domains, you can see that demographics, comments, subject elements, subject visits, all the four are completed, right? So now we are going to take the adverse events, that is events domain we are going to take. Adverse event is going to be a very big domain. I can say that there are so many models, there are so many variables to discuss there. It definitely is going to be a time consuming one, but I try to target and I try to see we'll complete that in the, maybe in the uh, not sure we can complete in 3 days or 4 days, but say let's target it on 3 days, because we know what are the details first. The basic details we are already aware of, correct? So all we need to do is we need to pace up. But this one is no, I cannot say it is going to be completed in 3 days. Maybe 4 to 5 days it definitely going to take. 4 to 5 days. So let's see where is this adverse event is. Here it is. Can you see this adverse events? 2, 3, 4. 4 pages we have, only the variables. Can you see this? 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Approximately 3 pages. So I can say that in each page, if you say around 12 or 10 to 12 variables, approximately 36 to 40 variables we need to discuss. And we need to go with the examples for that. So a very, 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 very big domain, right? But from tomorrow, we are going to start with this particular one. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll do one thing. Do you want me to go through the project one? Maybe I can upload right away, but I'll show you this, what I need to have here. I'm going to give the specification document to you. This is your specification document. Or you can also call it as a control terminology for each domain, right? Right. So what I will do is I will explain this project end to end. Mean to say you have your raw domain here. This is your raw data set. You can see here you have subject study identifier, domain abbreviation, unique subject identifier. You also have few details here. Subject ID, all the dates you have here. If I'm not wrong, this is the final one. Okay, let me check the raw data. I'm going to give you the raw data to you. From the raw data, by taking care of all these variable must be part of your output. So how to build a code, SAS code, to produce your data? Let me explain project one from my end. For the demographic domain, I'll explain end to end. Okay. Then we already completed the remaining 3 domains here, right? What are them? Comments domain, subject elements domain, and subject visit domain. For them also, I'm going to provide the raw data. So whenever you get a time, so you complete that particular one, send the code to me so that I can validate it. If any changes required, I can keep suggesting. That is how it is going to happen. So demographics domain, I'm going to explain. And I request all of you to complete the remaining 3, which are very simple and easy ones: subject elements, subject visits, as well as the comments domain. Then we can start with the adverse events from the Thursday onwards. Thursday and Friday, we can work on the comments, adverse events domain. Is that okay to everyone? Can I have a quick confirmation? Okay. Tomorrow we will go with the how to write a code if raw data set is given to you. That is the only thing that we are going to discuss. No, I haven't shared the project, Mohanty. So anyways, I'm going to explain that tomorrow and I can share it with you. Okay. So once we can complete this particular one, we can go ahead with the events domain. Once events are completed, then we need to go with the interventions, findings, trial domains, and supplementary domains. Right. So this is little big. Events is going to be the little big. The remaining all going to be the simple one only. Quickly we can complete. Any questions from anyone? All right. So I need to send the code for you guys for the three, that is your subject elements and these. Let me add it right away. So CO domain D already sent, but again I'm sending it. You have your subject elements, you have your subject visits. Someone asked me about the implementation guide as well. Implementation guide also sent. Done. Whoever is not part of this particular group, so kindly get add to this particular one so that we can go ahead. And also I'm going to add control specifications. Just keep it in, keep this particular one. It is also helpful. Whoever is not part of it, guys, kindly get it add. Ask Balusar to get add to this particular group so I can have all the updates here itself directly. All right, that's all for today. Any questions, let me know. If not, we can wind up the session for today. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.